Hey guys, Decav13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Grand Order. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump on into Section 10, Eyes of a Monster. Just got a story section here to start off, so that shouldn't be too bad. Well, I mean, you know, depends on how long the story section actually takes to get through, but, yeah, you know. Oh, it's a continuation of last time. Ah, gotcha. This is your dream, eh? I don't know who this is. I know whose dream this is. Pain that grows more terrible with each passing moment. Unfathomable bewilderment. Fear that threatens to swallow you whole. And above all, complete and utter loathing for the soldiers who looked down at you in scorn. In an instant, my pain turned to pleasure, and I vowed I would kill them all myself. I think this is Anna. Or is it V? Oh no, this is Anastasia. Yes, there was never a time I did not hear this voice. Not that Olga, Tatiana, Maria, Alexei, Papa, or Mama ever noticed. I could always hear this voice, whether I was playing a prank or climbing a tree. But I also knew it wasn't anything like a guardian angel. If it was, I wouldn't be dead right now. Even when I only had seconds left to live, all he did was stare at me. He was a creature of fantasy summoned by my desire to kill those who had wronged me. A monster with mystic eyes who only appears to the Romanovs who are born with the ability to see him. The soldiers hacked my body to pieces. Then they burned me and buried my ashes. Even as my clothes were stripped off, my body chopped to pieces, and my ashen remains planted in the ground. I was still conscious enough to understand what was happening. And that is why I made certain those soldiers would never again enjoy a moment of peace. Death is too good for you. No, you're going to live in fear for the rest of your lives. I, V, will always be watching you. I will forever pass judgment on your sins. I will forever see to your punishment. I will always, always be watching until the day you die. Always, always, always! Damn it. Gray skies. World without light. No anything else. Guessing this has to be... Oh, no. Did I wake you? I wasn't sleeping. I was just dreaming. Is there a difference? That was Caddock speaking. That makes a bit more sense. Huge. It's the difference between your mind being shut off and your mind changing gears. Dreams have long since abandoned my sleep, and now I no longer need sleep. That sounds just like it is with servants. So what's the occasion? Something happen? We received a report from the Opportunity we sent out to the frontier. It didn't have much to say, but it did mention that they had burned down one of the rebel army's storehouses. That should make things more difficult for them. And then there's the servants who aren't with the rebels. We should figure out what to do about them soon before they think to challenge the Tsar's glory. We should be able to handle them together. The Metropolitan can take care of things here in the Metropolitan can take care of things here in the meantime. Then it's a date. I'll go get ready. What do you need to get ready for? Just go like that. You really don't know how to treat your servants, do you? You're supposed to send me off with a smile. Lay off. I'm all about efficiency. There's no other way an ordinary guy like me could ever catch up to a genius. The only way to beat someone who understands efficiency at a practical level is to dream up something even more efficient. I see. In that case, come help me get ready. That will be more efficient than simply waiting around. Yeah. And stop answering me like some lazy soldier. Makes me feel like cursing you. Alright, Anastasia. So what is it you want my help with? I want you to help me choose which coat I should wear.
What an innocent, heartwarming sight. It was like watching them dance a waltz on top of the thinnest of ice, where one crack could send them tumbling into the abyss. I guess it just goes to show that the Grand Duchess is a good match for our timid Caddock.
A boy weakened by his reluctance to give up on anything, and a girl empowered after giving up everything, huh? They are quite the pair. Each makes up for the other's shortcomings. Even I can't think of a servant and master that are better suited to each other. Which is why you really should stop stirring them up just for your amusement, Koyanskaya. As the Tsar's aide, I can't overlook this any longer.
Oh my, I didn't know you were so patriotic. Does it pain you to see your beloved homeland so messed up? Well, lucky for you, I was just thinking it's time I was on my merry little way anyway. I've already said hello to the Chaldeans, and I've confirmed the Tsar is coming along nicely. So since there's no work left for me to do here, I'll be moving on to my next assigned destination. Especially since Lord Wodim has apparently gone and sent out Miss High and Mighty Canis, too.
By all means. Your preferred forms of entertainment are nowhere to be found in Russia anyway. There are no humans desperately fighting for their survival here. Not a single person you would enjoy trampling all over. No matter how you look at it, this Lost Belt is utterly devoid of hope for the future.
Yes, so it would seem. That's the one part that's truly a shame. Well, I'd best be on my way. No point sticking around a barren land with no money to be made, after all.
I see you travel light. Oh yes. Would you like me to pray for your safe travels?
No, thank you. I have a feeling your prayers will only bring about the opposite of what they sought. Well, here's to doing business again. Remember, when you want to get rich at others' expense or want to be happy no matter who else it might hurt, make sure to call on NFF Services. We make all those sorts of dreams come true.
Rats, I believe she called them. Takes one to know one, as the saying goes. You should learn to be mindful of the dangers that line your path, Koyanskaya. As things stand now, you may as well be a rat fleeing a sinking ship. Alright, now we got another node like we had before with Lancers and Berserkers. Really would not want to bring Billy for this. No, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, Demon King 6 Heaven back on you. Oh, let's see, turn to war first. Well, that was a productive chat. Nice to get some good news for a change. Alright, Billy, you take it from here.
Sure thing, Bayo. Hope we meet again down the road.
Where are you off to, Billy?
Oh, I'll be riding with them. Beowulf be running this show from now on.
What? You're joining the rebel army?
Sure am. I know you don't hold humans in high esteem, but there's heaps more to them than you think. Servant or no, I'm still just a good old-fashioned human. Suits me just fine to rebel with the rest. See you around.
Two days after setting off on their journey.
Huh? Shan-Chan's trying to tell us something.
It seems there are demonic beasts nearby. Are you ready, Pachi? Yeah, I know the deal. Time for some fresh meat. Hey, that could be your catchphrase. Sometimes I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, they ain't exactly delicious, but there's plenty of meat on them. Alright, well, let's say we rustle up some grub for the rebel army.
Alright, more crit shot and hermit crabs. Or snow crab, whatever the fuck they are. Fucking snow crabs. Yeah, take them out first. Browser shots.
罠罠
任せて。
承諾しおう
Please be able to take that thing out in one hit, Shiki. God damn it.
沈め
Fuck.
では承諾したおう
Alright, good. We were able to take that one out in one hit. And drop the shell. I don't know why I didn't bother checking before now, but what is Shiki's attack? 11,000? She has less attack than Sigurd does.
Kiriko.
承諾した罠沈め
Someone else getting poisoned. Oh, Sigurd guarded against it. Haha.
ええ、切り込むの。
了解
どう？
沈め
切り込む
おう
の。
This should finish off the crit chat and then bring us into the next wave.
だだ
Which again, should be more crit chat and browser chats. Ooh, really strong crit chat.
物騒な話。うまくいくといいのだ
敵味方識別確認発動
Alright, let's go.
けど。夢の終わり。
展開準備
ええ。
That should be enough to finish them off. I mean, if this doesn't insta kill all of them, of
全て
course.
は夢。
I mean, it should get the crabs, but I don't know about the crit chat. No problem with crit chat too.
これが
よっ
名残の花。
感謝貴殿と魂の削り合いができたこと嬉しく思う
Alright, we got meat. You guys are all gonna have some too, right? Well, servants ain't really gotta eat, but if there's enough to go around, I'll have myself a bite. But the real silver dollar is the alcohol you have with stewed meat. I know how you feel. I would love some cider myself. Cider, huh? I'm partial to bourbon myself. Tequila ain't bad either. Of course, back in that village, I'd brew just about anything I had on hand. I've heard there's different kinds of alcohol, but I've only ever had the one kind. What do the others taste like? Ah, right. Most of what y'all got to drink is just straight vodka with no kind of flavor to it, yeah? I still got a bit of the last batch I distilled. Care for a nip? Sure, I'll have it a shot. I'll give it a shot. That's good. Really good. Though, does taste a little weak. Actually, this year's about as strong as it gets back home. Guess you Yaga really can't hold your drink. A little too well, if you ask me. We should be there soon. No signal fire. Seems things kept running fine even though we've been gone for quite a while. We're back. Open the gate. Welcome back, boss. I see you've returned. I have some good news. Another servant by the name of Billy the Kid has agreed to join us. Howdy. You must be Advocate Braun. Billy the Kid. Nice to meet you. The pleasure is all mine. Unfortunately, I'm afraid I must greet you with some bad news. Oh,
What is it?
We are on the verge of running out of food altogether. That's not great. Alright, so let's see. Oh, I know what this one is. Alright, we need really good... Of course, these are all support casters. I mean, except for Anna, but, you know, she's AoE. I'll bring a Saber then. Actually, screw it, I'll just bring a caster. And all of these other mobs are kind of weak in this one. Then I'll throw in Sansa as well. Yeah, we should be fine with just casters, I think. This area stopped receiving food from the capital a long time ago. The capital also lays first claim to any demonic beasts the hunters catch here. That is why these Yaga had no choice but to revolt. It was the only choice if they wished to survive. Securing a food supply was our most important order of business as well. It was simply not possible to grow enough grain to feed everyone. So we worked together with other villages to hunt demonic beasts and share their meat. That was enough to get by. At least, until now.
Why did the food supply suddenly run out?
The rebel army simply grew faster than we expected. There are more mouths to feed now. We have no right to turn anyone away after all. A lot of youngsters around here. Ever occur to you to turn them away, Adelanti? No. Their mothers and fathers have all vowed to fight to ensure their children do not go hungry. That system where the weak are left behind to die is precisely what they wish to fight against. As such, the rebel army is honor-bound to keep children alive. Can't say you're being exactly objective about all this, are you? No.
Hell yeah, that's great. I sure am glad I decided to sign on with y'all.
That aside, even as matters stand, our food reserves should have been sufficient to keep us fed for some time. Oh, you mean that storehouse?
Storehouse?
It should be alright to tell you now. We had a hidden storehouse that only a select few of our members knew about.
You're speaking in the past tense. I'm gonna venture a guess that it ain't around no more.
That's right. We were storing roughly 30% of all our food there. When our stronghold's reserves fell low enough, we would restock them from the storehouse. But now that storehouse is gone, huh? Indeed. I am told the Oprichniki found our Yaga as they were carrying food out. They then burned down the storehouse and killed everyone there.
They burned it down?
The Oprichniki have no need for food. No matter how much the rest of the country is starving, they always favor the Tsar's glory above all else. I see. Then they are almost certainly Ivan the Terrible's noble phantasm, as we suspected. But then, how could he maintain his noble phantasm for all hours of the day like this? To do so would consume an incredible amount of magical energy. No, that can't be right. The law of equivalent exchange simply wouldn't allow for that. Advocate wrong? Ah, my apologies. First, we need to resolve our food supply problem first, don't we? Right. This may be difficult for a human like you to understand, John. But Yaga require a tremendous amount of food and can starve very quickly. On average, a human goes as many as 7 days without food as long as they have access to water. But a Yaga can only last without food for 3 days before they die of starvation. On top of that, the average Yaga requires several times the calories per day as the average human. That is the plight every Yaga faces. If they are to survive in this frozen tundra, they must consume vast quantities of food. I see. That does make sense. I apologize for this example, but it reminds me of a certain species of rat. This rat would need to eat constantly, or it would burn too many calories and die on the spot. Is that really the best example you could come up with? At any rate, with so many Yaga, we could dedicate all of our resources to hunting, and still not have enough food to feed them all. And we have precious little food left before we run out entirely. Alright, how do we resolve this? I had hoped it would not come to this, but under the circumstances, we have no choice but to steal food from the pro-Tsar city of Yaga Smolensk. Yaga Smolensk is situated some distance away from both the frontier and the capital, and has relatively few oprichniki guarding it.
You want to steal food?
And from my town? I see no alternative, though I agree that it is a most distasteful move.
I know that.
But we must consider the children and elderly who cannot long survive without food. Even then, it is a catch-22. Should we devote all our food to them, our soldiers on the front lines will find themselves too weak to fight. Please understand, I know that this is one of the worst moves the rebel army could make. That is why I have chosen one of the cities most loyal to the Tsar. Further, we will not be taking all of their food. We will send as many soldiers as we are able and attempt to negotiate to secure food. However, this time we will not give them the option of refusal. We will leave with the supplies we require, whether they agree or not. I only hope we can take just enough so that neither we nor they end up starving. It's gonna be tough. I mean, they've already got heaps of food stored away, but...
Yeah, they've also got a bunch of secret demonic beast hunting grounds they keep to themselves.
That's how they do things there. They don't just make sure they got enough to eat, they always make a bundle by selling off the excess.
No wonder they have no problem sucking up to the oprichniki. They never have to worry about starving.
They've got it made there, just as much as they do up in Yaga Moscow.
Some Yaga they are. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Hey. You don't think you guys would do the same thing if you were in their position? None of them asked to be in that situation. It still took everyone who lives there everything they had to build that city. It's not like they're all living it up either. Some of them couldn't hunt and ended up starving to death. Still, even having said all that, I bet it does sound like they've got it made compared to life in a village. But that doesn't mean they're bad guys, or that's okay to do whatever you want to them. You from there or something? I was, before they kicked me out. I'm not gonna defend them, and I'm not against stealing their food either. They're still Yaga just like you and me. Don't forget that.
Pachi is right. I will not have any harm come to the city's residents. That was always the plan, but make doubly sure that all the soldiers know that. If any one of you so much as touches a hair on a child's head, I will fill you with so many arrows you will wonder when you became a hedgehog. What's a hedgehog? Some kind of demonic beast? Right, I forgot who I was talking to for a moment. At any rate, we will take what we need to survive. No more. If they think us evil for doing so, let them. Our goal is to defeat Ivan the Terrible and to purge the oprichniki from this world. Once we do that, this frozen empire will finally see dawn. The tides of history will once again begin to move. Soldiers, take up your arms. Good grief. So they're left with no choice but to stage an uprising.
Better than letting some of them starve to death. Besides, isn't this a welcome turn of events for us?
Guerrilla warfare is one thing, but we still have far too soldiers to think about fighting the oprichniki head-on. As of now, the resistance movement consists of us, the rebel army, Avake Braun, Miss Adelanti, Billy, and Beowulf. Avake Braun's golems may be something of an equalizing factor, but we still need at least one more capable ally. Pachi? Are you sure you're okay with this? Yaga Smolensk is your hometown, right?
No, I'm fine with that. I'd already given up on it anyway. Besides, sounds like the leader's gonna make sure our soldiers take it easy on them. I don't know if it will be that simple.
Why not, Avkibron?
I am a servant. I still have my memories from my old life. I believe I know a little something about proper human history, as well as the history of this world. And the way I see it, I'm afraid there are very, very few instances in all of time, past and present, where plundering of this sort went off without a hitch. At worst, a squabble could lead to a full-blown massacre.
A massacre?
But that's...
Oh, it's perfectly likely, Mash. Even proper human history is chock full of people who were smarter than me and more powerful than me, and heaps of them did miles worse than anything I ever even dreamed up. And I think you know that just as well as I do. I know to a certainty that if I had that kind of power, I'd have done the same terrible things. Good intentions notwithstanding, massacres can still occur. And this particular situation will be especially fraught with danger. First of all, the Yaga and Pachi's hometown, and the Yaga and the Rebel Army do not enjoy the same quality of life. And as we saw earlier, the Rebel Yaga resent them for choosing stability, and for swearing fealty to the Tsar and his oprichniki. We cannot be certain that this resentment will not transform this small raid into a massacre.
I won't let that happen.
I'm afraid that is a promise you cannot keep.
What was that?
A massacre is not always some sinister thing arranged by evil men who seek to murder the innocent. They are like brush fires, sparking and spreading out of control. Hoaxes, history, hatred, misinformation, suspicion, racial discrimination, disparity of wealth, pride, panic, propaganda. All of these things mixed together into a nightmare slurry. What is more, these things do not happen gradually, as in the proverbial slippery slope. What happens is that frustration and discontent continue to build to a breaking point, until the tiniest spark causes a tremendous explosion. If we were on the defending side, it would simply be a matter of keeping the would-be victims safe. But as we are on the aggressor side, that is not an option.
Then there's nothing we can do?
Damn it. I at least want to keep the damage to a minimum. Then we should focus all our efforts on defeating the oprichniki as swiftly as possible. The worst possible scenario would be if the oprichniki and the rebel army were to wage battle in the city with the residents caught in the crossfire. The rebels would assume the city's residents sided with the oprichniki. The oprichniki would think nothing of slaughtering the residents to get to the rebels. That would leave no one willing or able to rescue the residents. Therefore, we must eliminate any factor that might lead to a massacre before it has a chance to cause the situation to escalate. Would that be acceptable, Master? Sounds good to me. Let's do it. Understood. In that case, I have a request to make. The rebel army still needs some time to prepare before leaving for the city. During that time, I would like to gather as many materials as possible in order to build a wall.
Oh, wall?
Indeed. A wall of golems. Alright. Gotta get some golem materials for Avkibron. Oh yeah, the enemies in this node really don't have that much health. I guess the guy was right. So it's well, rogue golems. Should probably focus on taking out the golems. They have bigger threat here. Ooh, nice. Got all three at once. And then I just got 3 enemies beyond this. Alright, at least took out the golems. only one crit shot after this.
それでいいんだ
Focus on the golems.
だだ
Focus on the crit shot.
何
罠 つまらん仰せのとおり罠だ
42, really, Waver? Alright. Now, the big boss. Oh, this one has 20 enemy. Ooh, never mind. Oops. I thought we'd just go right into it. Alright, let me bust out Garden of Avalon real quick. I'm gonna need that shit.
星の宇宙物見のもて楽園の星から君に聞かせよう君たちの物語は祝福に満ちていると罪なき者の通るがいるガーデン・オブ・アバロン何
だだ
Yeah, we got a lot of enemies to plow through on this
そ
one.
れでいいんだ
そうですそうです
Oh, that's not helping.
それでいいんだへえ
Okay, good. We actually got the crit on that one. Nice. Okay, good. Cleared an entire wave of them. No damage for us this turn. Let's get defense back up.
Hmm? お望みのままに
Go with this.
何
Should have gone for Merlin's card first. Oh well. Let's get another Garden of Avalon going. Start taking out some of these crit shots.
王の話をするとしよ
そうれでいいんだ
星の宇宙物見のもて楽園の星から君に聞かせよう君たちの物語は祝福に満ちていると罪なき者のに通るがいるガーデン・オブ・アバロン
だだ
それでいいんだ
I took out the crit shots. Poison.
そうです
へえ
Alright, this one's just all golems now. So let's go.
つまらん
それでいいんだ
This.
罠だ
へい
そうです
Alright, I'm gonna Garden of Avalon again. Take out that golem.
小さな窓がここには一つ
I'll try to get that 90% crit on the crit shot.
そこは壁もなく城もなく国すらない始まりの空地の底で輝く原初の星魂のありかを見せようかガーデン・オブ・アバロン
There we go. Oh my god, can you like not fucking do that? How many of these golems killing Sanzo? Part of me wants to do around invincibility, but it's not really gonna matter all that much. Rather save me invulnerability. I'm like really desperate. Which, I mean, probably won't be long. Alright, 3 enemies left. So let's go.
それでいいんだ。
仰せの通り。
Really? Okay, I guess I'm gonna go with the fucking invincibility.
この辺りいじった方がいいんじゃないか。
Piece of shit.
チーズお望みのままに。
A little time to fucking heal too. Also, if I get fucking crit rate down too. Holy hell.
星の宇宙物見の見て楽園の端から君に聞かせよう。
Like, we're not even at the strong enemy yet.
君たちの物語は祝福に満ちていると。罪なき者のに
We're not even at the big threat yet. But of course, I'm having so much difficulty on just these fucking trash mobs.
そうです。 お望みのままに。
それでいいんだ。
仰せの通り。
何？サービスだとも。
罠。
There we go. The fucking Diavoltron. That fucking time it showed up, right? We're gonna take that thing out first, because I fucking hate these things.
君の道行きを信じよう。さあ、行きなさい。
Alright, we'll go. Unreturned information. 5 elements, not in Buddha Palm. I'm just go with the guaranteed crit on that quick. Hopefully take out that fucking crit shot. Cause I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to kill the Diavoltron with that. Ooh, we got a stun on it anyway. So that helps. It's the only thing we got a stun on.
御仏の加護見せてあげる。
Yeah, I think he's definitely dead.
五行だ。社会の連勝。
Alright, just got the golem left. What do we get from the Diavoltron? Ah, Divine Wine, of course. What else would we get?
いいとも。何？サービスだとも。
Alright. Well, that could have been bad if I didn't have Merlin backing me up constantly. It worked out in the end. Fucking Diavoltrons. I got the golem course. Damn, but I'm beat. Excellent. Seems this version of Russia is well suited to golem making. Wish I could help too. Those arms of yours are so scrawny I can't imagine you doing anything with them. Alright, I got a little meat. Not much, but it's better than not eating. Very well, I will keep working to make as many golems as I can in the time we have. Let me know when the rebel army is about to move out. Got it. Shan, come over and learn this fella Sen. Are you sure he can? good point. You seem like you ain't got much of an odor to you. How about he learns the smell of the earth making up these golems instead?
That does seem like it would work better. Alright, I will await your message.
Got it. Okay, let's head back then.
Man, you can almost cut the tension with a knife.
Of course. This excursion will be nothing like the small-scale skirmishes we have been waging thus far. Not to mention there is a very real risk that we may have to deal with a large number of Oprichniki. Atalante! What is it, Chaldeans? Is something on your mind? Yes, as a matter of fact. A massacre, huh? True, it would be dishonest of me to say that the possibility never crossed my mind. But what of it? I have a duty to keep these rebels safe. It falls to me to save the parents attempting to atone for their children's deaths with their own lives. I understand that this is not the sort of majestic act that would stop this nightmarish chain of events. However, so long as a massacre remains only a possibility and not a certainty, I cannot concern myself with it. Do you know what it feels like to be a soldier given food meant for starving children, just so you do not collapse from hunger on the battlefield? Perhaps the truly contemptible thing is that neither the Tsar nor the Oprichniki, but this very world for making it nearly impossible to grow grain here. The world itself, huh? At any rate, there is still some time before we depart. I will pass on your concerns to the soldiers myself. Thank you, Atalante. It is almost more than I can bear, John. Like Billy and Beowulf, I have no memory of fighting to restore humanity. But is fighting, saving the world, supposed to be this painful? I cannot tell any longer. Metropolitan Macarius, the Tsar wishes to see you.
Does he now? How unusual for him to wake up at this time of day. He must have had a bad dream. Very well, I'll be right there.
Do hurry, please. If you upset him, even you may not survive his ire.
That could be difficult. It is my job to sway the Tsar's decisions. I cannot simply tell him what he wishes to hear to the exclusion of all else. I must be frank, even if he may not like what I have to say. Isn't that the role of Metropolitan Macarius?
Metropolitan Macarius, huh? May I ask you something, Father?
Of course.
I can't tell what it is you want. I can't tell what your ultimate goal is. And I can't tell what you really think.
I desire what you desire, Grand Duchess. You and I wish for the same things. I promise you, that much is true. If I were asked to choose a side, I would absolutely choose yours.
Huh?
Forgive me. That joke was in poor taste. Just the improper remarks of a certain foolish man. To you, that must have sounded downright abusive. Please forget I said anything. I am here to do my job, nothing more. Even if I must reduce myself to a pawn in the process. I am here to sing the praises of survival, to offer condolences upon death, and confer blessings upon all manner of life, and to bring salvation to the forlorn souls of this eternal tundra. Right now, that is all I am concerned with, Your Imperial Highness.
I see. Go on. You shouldn't keep the Tsar waiting.
Good, he's gone. Still have no idea what that guy's really thinking.
It's strange. I don't distrust him as much as you do.
You're kidding me. He's one of the servants that not even Wodan can control. You know, the guys Wodan calls the disciples of the foreign god? In some ways, they're even more trouble than Chaldea.
That's true. And I know we shouldn't trust them, just like we shouldn't trust Koyanskaya. But for some reason, I really do feel like Father Macarius is going to stick with us to the end, no matter what.
I know you're there, Gottlieb.
Are you here to anger the Tsar, Macarius? He's dreaming peacefully now. Don't wake him.
It's my duty as the Metropolitan of Moscow to inform the Tsar of how his campaigns are faring. Don't worry, I won't make an ordeal out of it. The Tsar allowed his anger to get the better of him not too long ago, and ended up wiping an entire village off the map. He feels very bad about that, you see, so I imagine he would devote himself to prayer for some time as penance.
Is that all? If you have nothing else to say to the Tsar, then I assume you have something to say to me. What is it?
I was just curious how you are feeling, now that you have materialized as a servant. After all, you and I are much alike. Neither of us would generally be expected to become a heroic spirit. It's only thanks to finding a suitable human body that we were able to become servants. And it is nice being a servant. No need to worry about wasted time on sleep or meals. But of course, just because it's possible to do so doesn't mean it's pleasant. Gottlieb, you must be tired of doing nothing but playing the piano all day. Now is your chance to fulfill your true purpose as a servant. You are to leave for Yaga Kazan. A band of rebels comprised of ex-nobility has taken the city over. Go there with the Oprichniki and wipe them all out as quickly as possible.
You want me to leave my piano? What are you thinking?
Worry not, I will handle your duties in your absence. They were mine before you were summoned, after all. Rest assured that the Tsar will be duly pacified while you are gone.
Very well.
Make sure you do a good job, Maestro. If you don't, this lost boat will be subjected to an even more torturous hell.
Was I not summoned to ensure that hell endures? Fine then. I will kill them all. Make sure the Oprichniki can keep up with me. Somebody fetch me a bicorn.
I wish you luck, Gottlieb. Or would you prefer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart?
Thank you. I shall ensure those who defy the Tsar meet with swift and terrible death. Just as surely as my own death was arranged by the man in gray.
Father Macarius. My beloved wife Anastasia has informed me of what has been happening. She tells me you have been traveling the land, spreading peace and preaching gospel in my stead. It is a pleasure to see you again, Your Imperial Majesty. It fills my heart with joy to see you doing so well today. If the people living on the frontier of Russia are ignorant of your glory, then I must head there at once to enlighten them. But as you can see, I too am old and frail. I'm afraid I can only serve in your stead for so long. My deepest wish is that your wounds will soon heal, so that you may reassure your subjects in person.
Yes, you're right. You must be the only one who dares to reprimand or criticize me.
I feel like I can't even do the voice I was doing for Ivan before.
It is like a dream. Yes, just like a dream. It is like my Russia as it once was.
Whoops.
I seek peace, all for the sake of love. Anastasia. Anastasia, light of my life. I will never lose you again. Russia must remain forevermore. Macarius, you are the one man worthy of my trust. Tell me, is the frontier still a lawless and forsaken land?
Not at all, Tsar. The Yaga there know you and have nothing but respect and admiration for you. This is thanks entirely to your guards patrolling the land to maintain peace and order. The only problem is that there are not quite enough of them.
I see. Then I shall bolster the Oprichniki's numbers.
I shall send them to even the cities in the farthest reaches of the land. Will that do, Macarius? Indeed it will. That is just what is needed. Do that and all the Yaga will surely be able to receive your grace. Forgive me, Macarius. I have become something dreadful. What do you mean, my Tsar? I have been alive for 450 years, and I will surely continue to live forever. But I am still not strong enough. My glory as the Tsar is lacking. I must bring light to all reaches of the world. I must bring love capable of withstanding this blizzard to all the Yaga. And to do that, I must eliminate all those with evil in their hearts. I have received a revelation from a god. Though it may be a god from a distant land, it is very much like the god we know. This god told me to spread the glory of Russia far and wide, and to condemn those worlds that did not end up like our own. They told me to wipe out the so-called proper humanity who did not see fit to save us, to eliminate the cursed stargazers of Chaldea. But alas, I cannot take action against them myself. I have already made the mistake of acting in anger, and in consequence an entire village is gone. Those Yaga had abandoned their faith and neglected to pay you homage, Tsar. It was only a matter of time until they gave in to the temptations of evil and fell prey to the blizzard. You need not pity them. You may be right. And yet, if only I were stronger, this could all have been avoided. The foreign god brought salvation upon this land. It gave us the great tree of emptiness, the power with which to fight the other lost belts. Thanks to the foreign god's blessing, the entire world will one day be just like this Russia. I do not care for that power. I may be the rightful ruler of the world, but what would I rule if the entire world were frozen solid? I am the great Tsar. The Tsar cannot make mistakes. The Tsar can never err. This time the glory of my great Russia will know no bounds. I will make sure of it. And to do that, I will need the Oprichniki, my faithful hunting dogs who will lay the groundwork to make my dream possible. Macarius, I am doing the right thing, aren't I? I must not stop now, surely. Of course you are, and of course you must not, Tsar. The time is not yet right for you to awaken. You must let your wounds heal and wait for the day when your eyes will truly open. That will be a day of feasting and celebration, the day when a new Russia finally blooms. But for now you must rest and recuperate. You must sleep. Yes, I cannot hear the piano any longer, but... Macarius, if that is what you say, then that is what I shall do. The Tsar has gone back to sleep. Russia will once again know peace, albeit temporarily. Now we no longer need to worry about the Tsar knocking down the Tree of Emptiness. Will this do, O foreign priestess? I can't tell if she's happy or upset. Even if I can't understand her language, I should at least learn to read her expressions, or I'll never be able to listen to her confessions. Alright, we'll stop things here for today, and the next one we'll pick up at section 12, so
I'll see you guys then. Bye!